If you've asked ChatGPT a question, generated an image with DALL-E, or read about the latest breakthrough in artificial intelligence, you've already touched the world shaped by one of the most influential figures in tech today, Sam Altman. But who is Sam Altman really? How did a quiet, introspective computer science student from St. Louis become the CEO of one of the most powerful AI companies in the world? Let's rewind. Sam Altman was born in 1985 in Chicago, but grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. By the age of 8, he was already programming computers. His parents gave him his first Macintosh, and like many tech prodigies, he never looked back. After enrolling at Stanford University to study computer science, Altman dropped out after just 2 years. That decision might sound reckless, until you realize he left to start a company called Loopt, a location-based social networking app in the early 2000s. It was far ahead of its time, so far, in fact, that the market wasn't quite ready for it. But the experience laid the foundation for what would become a legendary tech career. Loopt was eventually acquired for $43 million, and Sam Altman was just 27 years old. But this was just the beginning. In 2011, Altman joined Y Combinator, one of Silicon Valley's most powerful startup accelerators. By 2014, he became its president. Under his leadership, YC expanded dramatically, backing startups that would go on to shape the tech world: Airbnb, Dropbox, Stripe, and many more. Altman's reputation began to evolve. No longer just a founder, he became known as a visionary. Someone who could spot trends before they emerged, who understood not just technology, but the economic, ethical, and social systems it affected. And that's when AI entered the picture. In 2015, along with Elon Musk, Ilya Sutskever, and other visionaries, Sam Altman co-founded OpenAI, a non-profit research company with a mission: to ensure that artificial general intelligence, AGI, benefits all of humanity. But this wasn't just another startup. OpenAI began as a counterweight to tech giants like Google and Facebook, who were racing to develop AI systems, but often behind closed doors. Altman and his co-founders wanted transparency, safety, and alignment with human values to be the cornerstone of AI development. In 2019, the organization transitioned into a capped profit model, allowing it to raise the billions it would need to build safe and powerful AI, while maintaining its non-profit mission at its core. It was a controversial move, but one that Altman defended as necessary to compete at scale. Fast forward to 2022, OpenAI released ChatGPT, and the world took notice. Overnight, millions began interacting with AI in ways previously only imagined in science fiction. And behind the scenes, Sam Altman, calm, calculating, deeply thoughtful, guiding the mission. But don't mistake Altman for a typical tech executive. He doesn't wear flashy suits. He isn't obsessed with media attention. In fact, most people describe him as deeply philosophical. He reads widely. He often discusses existential risk, long-termism, and humanity's place in a post-AGI world. His leadership isn't about ego. It's about responsibility. He's repeatedly warned that AI, if misaligned, could become one of humanity's greatest threats. And yet he also believes that with the right guardrails, AI could help solve some of our most pressing problems: disease, poverty, energy, education, and perhaps That's what makes Sam Altman so compelling. He's not building AI for the sake of profit, but for the possibility of progress. He's not interested in dominance. He's interested in direction. In recent interviews, Altman has said that he doesn't want to build a tech monopoly. He wants to build a future that works for everyone. That's why OpenAI has emphasized safety research, published its findings openly, and advocated for global coordination on AI standards. Still, the challenges are enormous. Critics argue that OpenAI's partnership with Microsoft and its rapid release of models like GPT-4 could outpace society's ability to adapt. Others warn of economic disruption, disinformation, and job loss. Altman listens, and then he responds, not with panic, but with purpose. He's testified before Congress, engaged with world leaders, and led internal safety teams to stress test the very tools his company creates. Because for Sam Altman, AI isn't just another invention. It's a new chapter in the human story, and he sees it as his responsibility to write that chapter carefully. So the next time you open a chat window, type a question and marvel at how the AI seems to understand you. Remember, behind the curtain, there's a team of researchers, engineers, ethicists, and leading them is a quiet man from St. Louis, a man named Sam Altman. Music fades out. Let's talk more about the man himself. What drives him and why so many in Silicon Valley and beyond consider him not just brilliant, but profoundly disciplined. Altman wakes early. He maintains a strict routine. He's intensely focused, not just on OpenAI, but on cultivating his own clarity of thought. Friends say he's unusually calm under pressure, that he often stares out the window quietly, thinking, not reacting, but contemplating. He once wrote that the secret to productivity is saying no, a lot. He's turned down countless opportunities, partnerships, and distractions to stay aligned with the mission he believes in. And that mission isn't just about building smarter machines. It's about building a world where technology uplifts, not undermines, humanity. He said it himself, the reason to develop AGI is to unlock abundance for everyone, not just for the rich, not just for one country, but for all people, everywhere. That vision, radical abundance, is what keeps him going. Altman is also a builder at heart. Outside of OpenAI, he's backed nuclear fusion companies, longevity startups, and even new city-building initiatives. He's not afraid of bold bets. In fact, he believes that society's greatest leaps come when people dare to dream audaciously. And yet, with all this, he remains grounded. He avoids social media debates. He prefers long-form dialogue over viral sound bites. He values deep conversation over public confrontation. But don't mistake that quiet for weakness. In 2023, a sudden shake-up at OpenAI's board led to Altman's temporary removal as CEO. The tech world erupted. Within days, nearly the entire OpenAI staff signed a letter demanding his return. Microsoft offered him a new division to run, but the message was clear. Altman wasn't just a CEO. He was the heart of the organization. Within a week, he was reinstated, and he came back not with revenge, but with renewed vision. Because that's the kind of leader Sam Altman is. Patient, persistent, purpose-driven, and perhaps most importantly, human. He admits he doesn't have all the answers. He acknowledges that AI raises complex ethical dilemmas we've barely begun to understand. But he also believes that hiding from the challenge isn't an option. As the pace of AI accelerates, Sam Altman remains a key figure steering the conversation, not with fear, but with responsibility. He's urging governments to act. He's funding alignment research. He's supporting the development of open tools and calling for international cooperation. Because in his view, this isn't just about intelligence, it's about wisdom. He's said, we have a chance to create something truly amazing or something truly terrible, and we must choose carefully. So when people ask, who is Sam Altman? He's not just OpenAI's CEO. He's a steward of one of the most powerful forces ever invented. He's a man walking the razor's edge between risk and reward, trying to ensure that humanity lands on the right side of history. And whether you agree with his methods or not, one thing is certain. You will be hearing his name for decades to come. Soft fade to black. But perhaps the most powerful thing about Sam Altman is what he represents. A shift in how tech leaders see their role in society. No longer is it enough to build. Now you must also take responsibility for what you build. No longer can disruption be an excuse for destruction. Now innovation must be married to ethics. Sam Altman has made it clear that the age of AI won't be defined by code alone. It will be defined by character. His decisions will ripple across industries, governments, and communities. The products OpenAI builds will impact education, medicine, labor, the arts, almost every aspect of our lives. So when we talk about Sam Altman, we're not just talking about a man. We're talking about a future that is being shaped, line by line, model by model, policy by policy, by people like him. And as the rest of us look ahead, wondering what AI will become, Sam Altman is already asking a deeper question. What will we become in an AI-powered world? That's not science fiction anymore. It's the most urgent question of our time, and one thing is certain. Sam Altman will be at the center of the answer.